Right now, I am, excuse me, here on TT. I am on Instagram and I am on YouTube. So, what prompted me to come back after 4 months? While I haven't necessarily been contributing to content creation, I have definitely seen, Facebook, I post on Facebook. My parents follow me on Facebook. Okay. I got to be, you know, discreet on Facebook. But what I but hey, Lucille. Yes. But I have, while I have not been going live, thank you for the hearts, I have been keeping abreast of what is going on in social media. And you guys, I am very, very concerned. Before we get started on our actual stories, like the ones that, from the past, that like the ones I used to do, there are some current stories going on that okay, no. That I wanted to talk to you guys about, and to help you guys understand that the internet isn't a void where you can do whatever you want. Okay. What, I had it in a notebook. All right. So over the last few months, have you guys seen all of these bloggers being sued for defamation by celebrities? If you have, just give me a thumbs up. If you know any of the names, you can put them in there. But the ones who I have been hearing a lot about are, yes, Tasha K, this other woman, Milagro Grams, and a young man who went by the moniker DL Whisperer, right? What do all of these people have in common? What they have in common is that they have all faced legal repercussions for talking crazy on the internet. Tasha K, for some reason, had a vendetta against Cardi B and spread just said things that were untrue, to the point that she was sued. And now, she has a $4.1 million judgment. Milagro Grams was, putting forth untrue stories about Megan Thee Stallion. And now she is begging the court to stop Megan from taking her money. She owes Megan, I think, $75,000 as well. And then there was another social media person by the name of DL Whisperer. And that story actually concerned me the most, because this gentleman was out here. He was doxing people. He was threatening people with bodily harm. He was driving up to people's homes. And to the point that, he ended up being arrested, and he spent 4 months in jail. And the only reason he got out was because he took a plea bargain. How many of you guys heard about that? Did you hear about that guy? The guy who spent 4 months in jail. He's a content creator. He decided to have beef with, one of my faves, Lucille. I love you. Please feel free to join the conversation, guys. This is just a chill chat. I don't have no format today. I am going to be doing stories, but I'm just easing back into the live streaming thing. So I'm going to do what makes me feel comfortable. Okay. Y'all go follow my boo, Lucille Verde, Hotel Pennsylvania. Okay. She has got all of and I'm telling you, she has everything you need. And when I say everything, don't, like, if you're thinking about it, she got what you want. Okay. So follow Lucille. But let me get back to this. Okay. Guys, you can't say whatever you want on the internet. A lot of people, oh, cool. A lot of people out here think that because it's the internet, and you're trying to get clicks and views because you want to get money, that, you can say whatever you want, and, oh, they can't find me because, it's a fake page or whatever. ladies and gentlemen, if they want to find you, they can find you by your IP address. You are not working in some, government cybersecurity thing. It's not hard to find you, even if you are reporting your things from a fake page. I want you guys to be responsible with how you try to drum up engagement and drum up support. Just like I tell you guys to not build your brand on another brand's back. Hi, Round Noonish. Just like I tell you to not build your brands in terms of, goods and services off another brand's back. These bloggers who are building their reputation by essentially targeting specific celebrities and doing whatever they can to, ruin their life. It's like, why do you want to be known as that? Like, when you think of Tasha K, when you think of Milagro Grams, do you think of like people who you would want to hang out with? Like, are these people that you would want to do business with? The DL Whisper, all these people spreading horrible lies, spreading AI videos of people, just making things up whole cloth, threatening to unalive people, driving up to people's homes. Like, I understand everybody wants to get on the internet and make money. Y'all want to be these content creators. Y'all want to get that the funds, the fundadas, but have some integrity, please. Like, I get really I'm really concerned at the lack of critical thinking skills that I'm seeing amongst content creators, the lack of boundaries, the lack of talent. Frankly, a lot of these content creators are just trying to become popular by being messy. And if you are legitimately trying to build a brand, why would you want to build your brand on mess? Right? But that was just a little rant that I had in my spirit. Because I'm very concerned. Like, I was hanging out with Lucille yesterday, and and she was telling me about all of the new things that are happening on TT and all that stuff, and what's going on. And I'm like, y'all doing this all for some clicks and views? Y'all doing this for some clicks and views? But that's just me. I've realized that, yes, Lucille Verde was giving me the TTT. I've realized that part of what makes a person a celebrity, or at least, want to be a celebrity, is that they like attention. They like that energy from the crowd. I am an introvert. I like to be alone. So I don't need a lot of attention, right? And if you enjoy being the center of attention, more power to you, but please do it with some integrity. Okay. But yeah, so that was just something that I wanted to get on here and just say real quick, get it off my chest. But I do have some stories that also had been, yes, introverts unite from our own houses. Yes, there were some stories that I saw updates on that I wanted to talk to you guys about, because we had talked about them extensively on here, and I wanted to give you some updates. Now, some of you may not have heard the stories, but thank you for the likes. Thank y'all. But I'll give you the backgrounds, okay? And I'm not going to take too long. I'll go as long as my spirit feels good. Listen, I have fallen in love with Glorilla's accent. Okay. I love saying spirit. Anyway, but yes, so I just wanted to follow up on some of these big stories that I had talked to you guys about the last time I was here, like 4 months ago. All right. So one of them was, I don't know if you guys remember, I talked to you guys about this director who Netflix paid him like $55 million to make this sci-fi series for them, right? He was the director of 47 Ronin, which did not do well. So Netflix, he's a good friend of Keanu Reeves. Now remember, Keanu Reeves, he's Mr. Matrix, he's Mr. John Wick. So if Keanu Reeves is your friend, I'm sure you've got lots of pull, and you can call in a lot of favors. Anyway, this guy, his name is Carl. Netflix paid him $44 million initially to do this sci-fi series, right? Then about 2 years into the project, he goes and he says, I need 11 million more. And Netflix said, okay. And do you know what he did with that money? He squandered it. He lost half of it in really bad investments. He bought luxury cars. He paid off debt. And in the meantime, the sci-fi series never gets made, right? So of course, Netflix went to court. They took him to court for at least $11 million. And his argument was that, well, I'm an artist and you can't tell me what to do with the budget, but you didn't produce the art that you were paid to produce, right? So anyway, Carl had to go to what the crap? Come on, yo. Hold on, guys. So Carl had to go to court. Well, he had to go to court because Netflix is not playing. And if you listen, how many of y'all were pissed about or can I say that here on TT? How many of y'all were upset when the Netflix subscription price went up a few months ago? Remember it went up from like $7.99 to $8.99. You can blame that guy because he stole $55 million from Netflix, and they got to get that money back somehow. Okay. But anyway, so not only did he have to go to court, he asked to go to prison. Okay. Mr. Carl Wrench, he has to spend 2.5 years in prison. He also has to pay back the $11 million from, excuse me, he also has to pay back the $11 million that he got from Netflix within 5 years. Now, I don't know how he's going to do this because who's going to give him work, after he gets out of the clink? Who do you think is going to hire Mr. Wrench to do anything now that he has been convicted of stealing $55 million from Netflix? From Netflix, y'all. But this, I say that to say this is why you need to honor your contracts. The reason why, oh, thank you, Whitney. The reason why we have contracts is so people know what is expected of them. Netflix did not give Carl a $55 million to go and chill and buy a nice luxury bed and luxury cars. They paid you to make them a series that they do not have. So and you cannot use artistic license to steal people's money. So just word to the wise, when someone gives you money to do a project for them, do it. Okay. All right. So hey, Benevolent Builder, how you doing? Where are my luxury goods girly? How many of y'all have Louis Vuitton purses? How many of y'all have Louis Vuitton purses? Let me look this Louis Vuitton. If not, Brown Newton said, if Netflix gives me $55 million, I'm creating that series. Listen, I will draw every panel, okay, for $55 million. But yes, where are my luxury goods girlies? If you own a Louis Vuitton bag, give me the series didn't even get made, Benevolent Builder. It was supposed to be called White Rose. It was supposed to be a sci-fi series, and the guy just took the money and ran, or he tried to run. Now he's going to prison. All right. Okay, if you have a Louis Vuitton bag, give me an LV in the comments, because a Chinese tea company has just been sued by Louis Vuitton, and now they have to pay them about about $1.5 million. Okay. Now, if you didn't know, the Louis Vuitton logo is based on an Asian design, right? But of course, it's trademarked. They've got so many products. It's a recognized symbol, right? A company in China called Molly Tea. Is it storming outside? A company in China called Molly Tea. They tried to register their trademark, and it was very similar to the Louis Vuitton logo. Now, Louis Vuitton does not make tea. I had the picture. Hold on, let me actually. I can show it to. Okay, YouTube. Be patient with me very quickly. Where's it at? Nah, bro. Un moment, s'il vous plaît. Okay. Let me find the comparison picture for you guys. Okay. All right. Okay. So if you guys can see, on one side is the T and the other side is the Louis Vuitton. If you can see the T, the T cup and the Louis Vuitton bag, please type I see it. Please type I see it. Okay. All right. So it's storming. Okay. Whitney, you see it? Okay. So this Chinese tea company, they wanted to register for their tea company. And, and we all say, again, this happened in China. China has a very strict first in time rule when it comes to trademarks. Whoever trademarks it first gets it. So even though Molly Tea, even though Molly Tea, even though Louis Vuitton doesn't make tea, that design is very specific and it is very well known. But then the twist is Louis Vuitton's design is based on Chinese culture. So it's kind of like, so you trademark our stuff and you make it money, but we can't do it. And we've seen this time after time. We've seen it with the phrase Hakuna Matata. We have seen it with that's the only one I can think of right now. But in terms of cultural appropriation, cultural appropriation does not override trademarks. Okay, hold on. Let me get the illusion that I'm at the beach. But yes, although the designs may be based in Chinese culture, Louis Vuitton still has this, long-standing symbol that represents their brand. So this Chinese brand, they have to change their logo and they have to pay Louis Vuitton 1.5 or the equivalent of 1.5 million US dollars. Okay, so guys, when it comes to, again, choosing your trademarks, choosing your logos, you want to be unique. You don't want nobody to be able to come and say, hey, you copied me, right? It's just because it casts doubt on your authenticity. And then two, if you get into a legal battle, it can get very expensive. Okay. So now I don't know how successful this tea company is, but do they have $1.5 million to go and give Louis Vuitton, who has all the money? Good luck to them. All right. Okay. Next story I want to talk to you guys about. How y'all doing? How have you guys been? Again, I haven't been here for like 4 months. Are there any updates I need to know about on the apps? I just have not really been in the mood to live stream, and there's a certain energy that I want to have for this show that I can't, that if I can't give you the energy that I want to give for the show, I'm just not going to do the show, you know. Y'all don't want me up here being all dry. The information is already dry. Oh, y'all's boy Chris Brown got to pay his cleaning lady $13 million for gross negligence. That dog messed her up. Keep your dogs in check, guys. All right. Here's another story that I wanted to talk to you guys about. All right. How many of you guys saw the Netflix documentary about America's Next Top Model? How many of you saw the Netflix documentary with Tyra and the infamous, Inspector Gadget coat? How many of you guys saw the America's Next Top Model documentary? Is this live? Am I live? You did? Okay. Round noonish. Prior to seeing that documentary, what was your opinion of Tyra Banks, if you had any? Whitney, you meant to watch it. Well, Whitney, what do you think about? I'm sure you've heard about it, but what did you think about Tyra Banks before the documentary? Now, remember, I remember prior to my break, I talked about this story where Tyra was getting sued for $3 million for a lease that she that she skipped out on, right? You thought she was cool. She liked the show. Yes, I'm a Tyra fan. I feel like Tyra, she was like, I'm not just a model, I'm a businesswoman. She took her foot in the door, she kicked the door open, and she made an empire for herself. And I have to respect that for her as a Black woman, in America, facing all these things. Now I don't know who she is as a person. Okay. Now, I watched the documentary with the idea that I respect Tyra. How she acted during this documentary, you thought that Tyra was phony. I was very shocked at how she seemed very aloof. She seemed very much like she didn't want to be there. She seemed very much like, very like dancing around topics, right? So did y'all know that Tyra is now suing Netflix over that documentary? Hey, Brittany. Did y'all know that Tyra is now suing Netflix? Hey, boo. I've been gone. I know I've been gone. She is suing Netflix for defamation because she's saying that, they interviewed her for 3.5 hours and only used, girl, just life. I had to take a break from social media in terms of participating because I didn't have the energy for it. There's a certain energy you need to have when you come on here, and I just didn't have it. I felt like getting on here, it was starting to feel like a job, and I didn't started feeling that way. It felt like something fun. Yes. Right. So yes. So getting back to Tyra. Now remember, prior to my break, I told y'all Tyra, she skipped out on a 10-year lease. And the landlord is currently suing her. And her argument was basically, well, you saw I moved to Australia. You should have known the lease was over. Anyway, so now Tyra is suing Netflix. She's saying that, they defamed her. They only used 16 minutes out of her 3.5 hour, out of her 3.5 hour interview. She's saying that they use selective editing, created false narratives about her knowledge. When she said that she didn't know what happened to Shandy, She said that if you watch the full interview, she said that she remembers, she said they cut that part out. So essentially, Tyra is suing Netflix saying, blame it on the edit. I'm not as bad as they made me out to be, right? Um, so we will have to see, because sometimes depending on how big your celebrity is, how much you can leverage your celebrity, you can get some creative control. Yeah, you can get some creative control over how you are edited. Right now, I don't know what these stipulations were when Tyra did this interview. Yes, it was in the 90s, and that was, I'm going to get to that in a minute, right? But she says that when she did this interview, it had nothing to do with Jay. It was more about just reality TV in general. We don't know how that interview went. Maybe she felt ambushed. Maybe she felt like they tricked her. We don't know what happened in that 3 hours with Tyra unless somebody releases all 3 hours. But as of right now, Tyra is suing Netflix, claiming that they have defamed her. They made her look bad with the editing, and she's saying that she has lost out on business opportunities because of how she was portrayed in the documentary. Right now, here's what I'm going to say. When America's Next Top Model came out, reality TV as we knew it back then was relatively new. It wasn't no rules, no regulations. Just like when we had social media and people started putting music and there was no regulation on that, and then they started doing takedowns. Of course, when something first starts, you don't know what the boundaries are. It is only through time and experience that you realize, okay, here's what we should do here, here's what we should do then. When America's Next Top Model came out, being a reality star was not an occupation. It was just a one-off, right? So of course there weren't, what do you call that? There weren't workplace standards, because it wasn't a workplace, or it wasn't considered a workplace. So I can understand how Tyra may have felt, thrown under the bus. But again, Tyra wasn't the only person on that show. There were editors, there were other judges, there were producers, and this is not absolving her of any liability. Her name was on it, but that was the time. What about Flavor of Love? What about For the Love of Ray J? I Love New York. Chance and that other boy. What's some other weird shows? That The Swan, where they put them ladies under plastic surgery. Okay, so reality TV 20 years ago was a totally different ball game. Being a reality star wasn't a check. All right. Yes, Chance and Real. So we don't know what, yes, mistakes. Real World was, I feel like that was actual reality. We don't know what happened, in that 3-hour interview with Tyra. I'm not saying that she should be completely absolved. I'm sure that, and for someone, and the only reason I hold her to a certain standard is because of that one episode of America's Next Top Model where she made them girls do that lesson with the contract. So that's the only thing I really, look at her funny in the light about. Okay. But I want you guys to, the reason why I picked this, the blackface. Oh yeah, okay, when they did different races and things. Listen, y'all remember that when Tyra Banks had her talk show and she put on a fat suit and had all them big girls piled around her, cuddling her because she had one day of being a bigger person, and she was like, oh my god, they were mean to me. Listen, she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but she made her money. And again, it was a different time. It was 2 decades ago. And I'm not saying that people should not be held accountable, but we should also take the time in context. Yes, we were entertained. We were entertained. Okay, and the last thing that I want to talk to you guys about tonight was a story that I had talked to you guys prior to my break. It was about a drag queen versus Patagonia. So Patagonia, you know, they are like an outdoor brand. They do, you know, jackets and tents and things like that. Camping. Don't take me camping. I've gone camping a few times, but I am at the age where I need to be comfortable. I need plush. I need AC. I need walls and a roof. I am no longer the camping girl. Maybe a glamping girl. No camping. Okay. No, no, no. Anyway, but Patagonia, they make outdoor, you know, equipment. And then there is a drag queen who yes, a working toilet and a shower, hot water. Okay. There was a drag queen going by the name Patagonia. Yes, glamping girl. Listen, I need internet. I need AC. I need lights. I need hot water. I need a smooth floor. I don't want to be uncomfortable for any reason at any moment. Oh, let me get back to this story. Y'all didn't come. Yes, backs. Woo, child. I went camping one time and we didn't have no like pads under the sleeping bags. Everybody woke up with a crick in their back. Zero struggle. Exactly. Soft life, girl. If I could, I'd throw on my hard wig for my soft life, but soft life, zero struggle. Anyway, so you have Patagonia that's selling, you know, outdoor equipment, and then you have Patagonia, who is a drag queen. And Patagonia, she is very into environmental activism and all this stuff, right? Patagonia, the drag queen, about to start skipping recycling. Yes. Listen. Whew. Listen, let them kitchen show. Let that new growth show. Somebody stop me. Okay. All right. So the drag queen goes to trademark her name for entertainment services. And of course, Patagonia, the outdoor company, they're like, hey girl, what you doing? What you think you're trying to do? And Patty, she's like, well, I want to sell merch. And they're like, well, look, we can't have you out here selling merch, but you know, selling certain types of merch, but we can have some type of, you know, what do you call that? You know, some boundaries as to what you can do, right? So they had this informal agreement that Patagonia, the drag queen, would not sell, you know, clothing and would not use the Patagonia, you know, designs to for her merch. Okay. Unfortunately, Patty, she basically said told Patagonia SMD because she found out that Patagonia was not being ethical about some of their business practices, and she filed a trademark for clothing production. Okay. Now I saw these ads on social media. I'm telling you, I kid you not. I don't know if you guys saw them, but Patagonia, the outdoor company, they literally did ads on social media trying to reach the drag queen and telling the public. They said, look, we do not want to sue Patty, but this is about business. We got to protect our name. And the reason, and it was just about their name, because you know how much they sued Patty for? $1. They are suing Patagonia for $1 in trademark infringement. They just want Patagonia to stop trying to sell, you know, to sell clothing merchandise. And while Patagonia may feel morally right in what she's doing, yeah, it may feel morally right. Again, trademark law does not care. Intellectual property law outside, I would say, in terms of laws, we got taxes and then intellectual property law. Okay. So they are still going back and forth. Um, I don't know. And they're still going back and forth, but the thing is, like, it also puts Patagonia, the outdoor company, in a bad space because they're known as an environmental company. They're about people, all this stuff, and you going after this one drag queen. But I get it from a business sense. You got to protect your name, right? So, um, yeah, those were the big stories that I wanted to share with you guys tonight. Um, Again, if you came in late, the reason why I was gone for so long was because life was lifing for me. Oh, when did you send them, girl? Because I have so many unread messages. Did you send it on TT, or did you like text it to me? Um, okay? Can you yeah? Because girl, I had deleted the entire app off my phone. I had deleted the whole app off my phone. But yeah, I'm gonna try to do these more regularly. I think what was holding me back was, again, life was lifing, and I did not have the excitement or the energy to do the show the way that I feel it should be done. Yes. I and while I understand we have to live, in the world. Sometimes what's going on in the news, it affects me. And I feel like getting up here and talking, it's like, what am I doing? The world is falling apart. So I really just had to take a break to, get myself together. But I'm back. Um, but I'm also not going to tie myself to a particular day and time. I'm going to do the show, but I'm going to do it when I feel like, my energy is good. So it might be in the morning, it might be in the evening, it might be on the weekend. So, just keep your what you call that? Keep your notifications on for when I come on. And, you know, I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to see all of you. I am looking forward to talking about future stories with you. Hold up, let me see. Also, since I'm coming back, I've kept up on some stuff, but not everything. Like Brittany just said, she sent me that book talk story. If there's something that I have been missing out on that you guys didn't want me to talk about, please, um, thank you. Please send it to me in do not send it to me on the TikTok inbox, because the TikTok inbox is scaring me right now. Okay, it's too much in there. Send it to me anywhere else. Thank you. But yes. So I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your evening. Go get some sun. And if you need business formation services or intellectual property services, you know where your girl is at. Okay. All right. So good night, guys. Bye. Let me and end. Okay. And now. And now. End stream. And